Joseph was treated with favoritism, and at age 17 informed on his brothers' misdeeds. Telling his brothers of a dream that they would bow down to him made matters even worse, and bad relations between them festered. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wives, and Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a robe of many colors. Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. Family animosity eventually sunk so low that Joseph's brothers committed criminal acts, holding him against his will in a pit and then selling him to slave traders. Then some Midianite traders passed by, so they pulled him out and lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. So they brought Joseph into Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph was eventually entrusted with the management of Potiphar's household, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard. However, Potiphar's wife desired to have sex with Joseph, but he refused and later unwisely entered the household without witnesses. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." And he left his garment in her hand and fled, and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he'd left his garment in her hand, and was fled forth, that she called to the men of her house, and spoke to them, saying, "See, he's brought in a Hebrew to mock us. He came in to me to lie with me." And I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled, and got him out. Thus falsely accused, Joseph ended up in prison, but he soon rose to manage the whole place. 13 long years passed from when Joseph was sold into slavery to the time he left prison. God often takes a long time to prepare people for their life's ultimate purpose. Joseph gained a reputation as one who could interpret dreams. To whom did he give credit? And they said to him, "We've had a dream, and there's no one to interpret it." Then Joseph said to them, "Do interpretations not belong to God? Tell it to me, please." Even later, when asked to interpret Pharaoh's dream, Joseph turned attention away from himself and gave God the credit. "I cannot do it," Joseph replied to Pharaoh, "but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires." Thus Joseph was instrumental in preparing Egypt for a famine, which would bring his own family there. Recognizing the uniqueness of Joseph, Pharaoh made him prime minister. Pharaoh also said to Joseph, "I'm Pharaoh, and without your consent no man may lift his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt." Yes, our circumstances in life can change dramatically, if God wills. Finally, Joseph's family came to buy bread in Egypt, and they fulfilled the dream that Joseph had many years earlier, that they would all bow down before him. Joseph was still in his palace when Judah and his brothers arrived, and they fell to the ground before him. That's how the whole clan settled in Egypt for several centuries. Joseph placed his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. In Joseph we learn the dangers of favoritism and jealousy. We see a man who didn't take credit but gave it to God. We see that evil may sometimes last a very long time, but God can still make it good. We see how Joseph forgave his brothers for their terrible deeds against him. Joseph's story lets us know how God works even with young people. Joseph wisely turned away from sexual temptation, but doing what's right sometimes brings pain. Will you have a change of heart and mind? Like Joseph, will you patiently wait for God to fulfill your dreams and believe the good news of God's reign You decide.